fear in God. There's a universal law that God don't give a damn about your degree. You can go to school and learn how to make a living, but God say, if you don't learn how to live, I'll take you out of here at 35. That's what that's about. Y'all can go through these institutions and be so evil and nasty and ornery. And let me tell you, you can get dressed for society. If you don't get dressed for the universe, it don't count. Society have a certain way you get dressed. You put your underwear on first. You put your overcoat on last. Universe says, I don't care what you put on, the last thing you better put on is a smile on your face. And if you walk around, especially you black folk with them evil look, never smiling to the universal God, you're not dressed, and that's a violation. You can play all the games you want to play. I can't believe black folk can be upset over the word nigger, something you could never be. Them little redneck heathens that created that name qualifies to be that. But all at once you upset over it. Huh? If the word nigger bothers you, then you got some niggerism in you. If I say tonight, all you hoes stand up, if that bothers you, hoe, I didn't call your name. How can you black folks assume you get upset over the word nigger, but you don't get upset over the word billionaire? How can you assume you'll never be a billionaire but got doubts to be a nigger? And then look, I mean, all at once now, the word nigger was cool until it got out the box. Long as black folk and white folk said it with each other. But they never thought they would see today, and I'm responsible for that, because a major book, I should have made millions. I didn't make millions instantly because I named it nigger, so I'm going to take this nigger snake and defang it. And they were scared to put it on the shelf. Black folk would go and say, I want one of them Dick Gregory whatchamacallits. And we never thought we'd sit there with white children would wake up and greet one another. You my nigga, baby. Hollywood used the word nigger. It's in the music. And now that it's out here, don't nobody want to hear it. The OJ trial, they changed it, and I couldn't believe you black folk would be that stupid, to the N-word. No, hear me, baby. Because if we don't understand this thing of the victim blaming themselves, huh? The N-word is the 14th letter of the alphabet. And if I was a little German or a Russian child and here black folks is upset over the N-word and I checked it out and find out the N-word is the 14th letter of the alphabet, I think y'all stupid. So all at once, you gonna sit by and let a white racist system change history. And what day will my Jewish brothers and sisters become insulting and insane enough to be ashamed of what Hitler and them Nazis did and let them change the word concentration camp to the C word and swastika to the S word? What day will women assert themselves to men can't rape you no more? And men get so embarrassed over our past history, we get you to change the word rape to the R word. It don't tell what have happened to you. So y'all can play all your little games. And how you black folk can get embarrassed because another nigga committed a crime. What kind of that makes you a criminal? This nigga here messed up the New York Times. I'm so happy that this nigga did it. Jason, he got all of them fired because he lied. I called Kobe's lawyer. I said, y'all better try to hire Jason to get him out this mess because the brother can lie. When you sit and you listen to all this old craziness, On the show the other day, white boy talking about, well, you know, the black woman have X amount of babies out of wedlock. What y'all gonna do about that? Give me that white woman's abortion credit card and I'll show you how to knock a nigger rate down. And you black folks get all insulted over what a white racist system has put you through, and then they throw it back up in your face. There's something wrong with that. And as long as you internalize that and hold all that in you, you will self-destruct. Somewhere you got to understand that this country is the most racist, sexist, insane nation that ever existed in the history of the planet. And the only reason it's getting better was a handful of black and white folks have put our life on the line and said, we're not going to tolerate it no more. When a white woman didn't get the right to vote to 1920, and she came over on the boat with that boy. And the only reason she got the right to vote was not out the goodness of that white boy's heart. She was willing to go to jail and die and be part of the struggle. That's what it's about. Oh, I sit here and I listen to the glorification of SIU. And I say, let me tell you why you can brag about that. Because of a white man named Dr. Morris. Hear me. No. Hear me. I was here. There wasn't another institution on this planet that was as racist as this one that was more racist, but they wouldn't let black folks in. And a handful of us that had some decent white folks. I'm in a history class, and when they get to the part about Negro, he put the word nigger on the board. John, all right. And I went up to him. He thought I was upset. I said, no, I'm not upset. Just spell it with a capital N. In the history of this school, no black person had ever become outstanding athlete leader of the year. And if you looked at the records, we had all of them except skiing. And so we changed that. We went by to see Doc. He said, we're fixing the rumble. When's the next time you're going to be out of town? The varsity theater, you couldn't sit anywhere you wanted to sit. Let me tell you, black folks, something about the black folks in this town. And SIU, one day you're going to have to honor them. Because when a black woman couldn't stay in a dormitory, and black men didn't feel comfortable if you wasn't an athlete, it was those black folks in town that nurtured us. The white racist system talk about how many black women get pregnant. Send that white woman out there. Get her out the dormitory and let her live in town and see how quick she get knocked up. But we had some white folks and some black folks that decided we didn't just want an education. I'll never forget, hear me please. I came here from St. Louis, Missouri. First person in my family that ever went to college. I got here, it was the first time I've been around white folks in my life that I didn't have to call Mr. or Mrs. And it was the first time I've been around white folks that had to call me by my name. Huh? You know what that's like to be born in 1932 and come here in 1952 and never could I address a white person without calling them Mr. or Mrs. And I'm sitting here that first day, and I see this president walk up to talk to us. And he said something that changed my life. He said, you can stay here, you can get all your degrees, but if you don't understand the power of God, you'll fail you. That's what I heard my first day here. from a white man. And I looked at my man and I said, wow. And my psyche changed. Huh? I hadn't been around no ugly white folks till I got here. Where would I see them? In the movie, they didn't let ugly white folks in the movie. I didn't know here. I thought all white folks were smart. When I saw this old dumb white boy trying to cheat off my paper, I thought he was a decoy. But I got here and understood that white folk wasn't that smart. If you belonged to the right fraternity, you could go steal the test before test time. So we organized the brothers and sisters and said the white fraternities is getting the test. I said, what are we going to do? I said, be cool. The black janitor got all the keys to all of them. So we went in town and would take them black, we'd give them tickets to homecoming. We'd give them tickets to the football game. We treated them like they wasn't janitors, like they was the nigger that had the key to that office. And here's what all the white folks was complaining about. How come all you colored folks, when you go to cafeteria, y'all won't sit together? Because the little nigga over there, Eric, he the one with the hot sauce. What do you black folk don't understand? You cannot be a racist. I can dislike you because you're Irish Catholic. I can dislike you because you're Jewish. I can dislike you because you're Polish. That's prejudice. The word racism means the ability to control somebody else's faith and destiny. And because I don't like you because you're white, I do not have the power to see to it that you can't get a mortgage. I do not have the power to see to it that your children can't get in a good school. And the reason you're so comfortable here today, because it was the Leo Wilsons and the Harvey Welchers, huh? And all the black folks. Didn't surprise me when I looked up and saw the brothers of Secretary of State, first time in the history of America, his roots was here. Huh? I sit here today and hear a sister over here, Washington running for Senate, a woman back then. Couldn't even think about that. And so I say to you, especially you youngsters, we've come a long way. And when you sit here and look at them roll off the numbers here, what this school is like, you got to go back to a beautiful white brother, his whole family. Huh? When you walked across campus, it was like talking to a friend that you grew up with. Huh? And we worked to change it when you couldn't get on black women couldn't get in the dormitory. We met and we negotiated. Said, well, can you wait till we build a new one? And we'll, okay. Black folks couldn't have a house on Fraternity Road. All that was negotiated with no bitterness. Why? Because we had some white folks, huh? That all you had to do was ask. Sometimes they would resist, but they didn't bother us because we wasn't going away. And then to sit back and see how far, and the same thing could happen in America that have happened here if you black folks had the background to seek out the decent white folks like we did and work for change, not through meanness and bitterness. Black folks can walk around them evil looks on your face. That ain't gonna pay Neiman Marcus. And understand what we're dealing with. America is 1/6 of the world's population. And as we sit here tonight, 89% of the world's hard drugs is consumed by Americans. What God y'all believe in? That's the price you have to pay for a white racist, sexist system. You have to stay drunk, out of your mind 24 hours a day. We ain't talking about alcohol yet. and caffeine and nicotine. Mountain Dew got more caffeine in one bottle than 10 cups of coffee. And that's what you give to your children. Every 4 seconds you sitting here this evening, a woman in America been beat up by her boyfriend or husband. Not no blood to Crips. And you sisters, my God, what have you been through? A white racist sexist system plus old crazy me. And we survived. The strongest 2 forces in the history of America has always been the black woman and the black church. They want to sit around and insult about the problem with the black community. Ain't no black man at home. Hey, we ain't home when we home. Jack the Ripper had a mother and a father. Hitler had a mother and a father. The mafia, you can't get no more family-orientated than them Italian thugs. Queen Elizabeth, now she my type of white folks. Queen Elizabeth made $365 million every 24 hours just interest on her money. Now them these white folks. Kirby. And I like them because they don't lie. They tell you, we're going to war to protect our interests. Queen Elizabeth lives in Buckingham Palace. I've been there twice. Plus she got castles all around. Ever since she's had children, she's been with that one man, Philip. The man was home, one of the richest white women in the world, and you can't find no more messed up, dysfunctional children than hers. Prince Charles in love with an ugly old white woman that her old husband didn't even want. And you gonna tell me my problem? And y'all suck enough to fall for that? Because you're crazy. And then black folks want to be validated by a white racist system. Always want to pay your bills on time. Always want to be early because white folks expect to be. I don't trust a nigga that's on time. I was shocked when I got here late and saw so many of y'all already here. In the black church is why America have gone the progress it has made in 40 years. Look at the civil rights movement because you can't get an honest shake here in America. 99% of the folks in the forefront of that movement had Reverend in front of their name, not Dr. So-and-so. And the world has never been the same. And they honor everybody on this planet except us. Oh, they want to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Tiananmen Square with some Chinese laid down in front of a tank with no gun. They learned that from us. Nobody never laid down in front of a tank with no gun until they saw black women and children and decent white folks in Birmingham and Mississippi looked at the mightiest nation in the world and said, bring on your best shot, punk. We ain't moving. When that thug lost the election in Bosnia, he said to the winner, we ain't going nowhere. Come Saturday, I'm going to be sworn in because we had the army. And the world press flew in from all over the world to record that bloodbath. And at 12 noon, that Saturday, 260 70,000 white folks showed up at the town square with no guns singing, "We shall overcome." Huh? And the army threw down their guns and joined them. And not one person died that day. That's the leadership we've given the world. That's the leadership we gave this institution. Why? Because you had some white folks that would let us. Huh? Or sometimes they say you're moving too fast. We made like we were slowing up. Hear me. When the Berlin Wall fell down, them white folks wasn't singing "God Bless America." They were singing, "We shall overcome." That's what this movement's about. That's why this institution is the way it is now. Because that seed was planted back there. And we didn't take nothing. We didn't compromise. We didn't threaten. We didn't go nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Can you know what it felt like to me to go out one day and win the mile, the half mile, the 2 miles, and anchor the mile relay team to victory, and we won the conference meet by 1 point? And then walk in town that night and see my white friends that got the ring and the championship jacket in a white restaurant that I can't go into. But they wouldn't have that ring and that jacket on had it not been for my effort and the other blacks, so I took a brick and threw through the window. But y'all know when white folks liked it, they liked it. The police showed up and said, well, he just had a hard day today. He's just going through some illusions. We refuse to be gladiators for a white racist system. And that's why this is one of the finest, diverse universities on this planet. It didn't used to be that way. I was suspicious when I got here and bumped into people from strange little towns. Murfreesboro. I didn't know where all the white students was going to cook, and I found out that was the whole house. And didn't do us no good to go. All the hoes was black, but they didn't deal with black folks. And now to be able to come back here. Huh? My life have touched people all over the world. I don't need to be validated by the New York Times. Huh? Because of this institution. Huh? Not because of the way it was, but what together we was able to make it be. So when I see this brother sitting here in the position he is, you work for that. Huh? Huh? A white woman with a PhD make 87 cents on the dollar compared to a white boy with the same degree. That's what this institution got to be about as you move into that next phase, to see to it that women equal pay. You got to go out and reach out and find you some Indians on the reservation and bring them here and nurture them through a degree. Huh? And when you do that, God will protect you. And when I talk about God, I ain't talking about no isms and osms. We owe a big debt to the black folks in town. We owe a big debt to Dwight Morris and his family. Because the atmosphere in this area here, that boy could have been hurt. Because when we was here, this was not a beautiful rose like it is today. It was a thorn in some dirty, nasty bushes. And working together. Thank you. Only God knows the things that I've been able to do. Some way. So you black folk got a legacy to take with you. And when you hear them roll off these numbers didn't get that way just because of SIU. Got that way because of us, black folks. And those decent white folks and that beautiful president. Huh? And if we did it way back then, y'all should have a cakewalk now. And so I say to you tonight, what a thrill. I said, oh, this brother bugged me so much about being here with that little shout money. I don't know no place I'd rather be. And I tell you, nights I sit up. I'm the one that wrote the book that caused the Kennedy King assassination. I'm the one when the CIA and the FBI come to me and say, nigga, we'll kill you. I said, kill me. They said, you're crazy, nigga. You got some children you love. And I looked them in the face and said, if you ever kidnap one of my children, you better do one or two things. Kill them or get you a book to teach you how to raise niggas, because I ain't buying them back. This movement's bigger than me. This movement's bigger than me. It's bigger than my wife. It's bigger than my family. My oldest daughter said to me one day when she read that, she said, Dad, you mean if somebody kidnapped me and wanted $2 million, you wouldn't give it to them? No, I'd ask them, what do they see in you I don't see? And say, I got 9 more of y'all here at them prices. And so I say to you today, we've come a long ways. It ain't about the physical thing now, it's about the mental thing. What can you do, SIU, to lead the world? I tell you what you can do. You can put a little system together to find out what effect a white racist system have on black minds and white minds. Nobody's ever tried this yet to see what it takes to unwind it. And people would beat a path here from all over the world. Huh? What effect do it have on little girls to grow up in a sexist society? Huh? And we made some many changes. Who would have ever believed we could muddy the water so much that a senator named Strom Thurmond died a few weeks ago, been in the Senate 47 years, and we muddied the water so much with him, only 7 senators showed up at his funeral. Huh? If there'd been a dog at the Senate that guarded the Senate door for 47 years, more of them would have showed up for the death of that dog. I'm telling you, this thing is changing fast. But you got to be vigilant. You got to keep your eyes open. There's a New York Times article. Didn't run no other paper. Sunday, May the 19th, 2002, page 22. Hell of a case. Coca-Cola. I didn't know till I read this that on soda pop there's a date on it, and after that date, that stuff, those chemicals break down into a poison. Let me tell you what Coke having us doing. We go to the white stores and pick it up and take it to a warehouse outside of Dallas and redate it and send it into the black community. That don't bother me because I don't believe drinking one of them Cokes will kill you. What bothers me, I'm not stupid enough to believe that they the most trifling in the Fortune 500. What bothers me are the pharmaceutical companies doing the same thing. Am I getting some medicine that all the juice is gone? How long? God, have we come a long ways and we got a long way to go? Now we look at this whole AIDS thing and look at the black folks in jail and y'all got nerve enough to be upset over that. Brother Danny Davis, remember not too long ago, a federal judge in Florida had the rule that Pizza Hut had to deliver pizzas to the black neighborhood. Now, anytime I got to go to federal court just to get a pizza, and that ain't real food. So I say to you tonight, Henry Kissinger was indicted for murder. And y'all think you, especially you white folks, think you live in a free democratic society. Not one newspaper. New York Times, hey, New York Times, June the 14th, 2003, last month. Big story. Hussein's image is banned in public except the money. And they're the only story that ran. They printed up new money 3 weeks ago with Saddam Hussein's picture on it. Huh? Huh? And you got your children over there dying, and the folks that's doing the manipulation and making the big bucks, whose children ain't going, you just in for that old sucker treat. And wonder why so many niggas in jail? I tell you why. Maker of heart device that killed 12 people must pay $92 million. They don't have to go to jail. Huh? They knew it was defective when they made it. Why am I in jail? Huh. Here. June of 1999. Headline, Virginia Union paper. Roberts cited for sloppy bookkeeping. That's Pat Roberts, preacher boy. Done stole $10.5 million. And after 2-year investigation, they said, oh, sloppy bookkeeping. Wait a minute. Same day, June the 19th, 1999, Washington Times, same day, convicted Baptist minister must pay back $5.2 million and go to jail. The nigga stole his, the white boy sloppy bookkeeping. And so I say to you tonight, we've come a long ways. Listen to this. In the Philadelphia Inquirer, major white newspaper, March the 9th, 1997, in daily life, black folks found to be more religious than white folks. I live in a country that a white newspaper can print that and never be accused of being a racist, huh? But if Jet Magazine said it, or Tavis Smiley said it, even some of you black folks out there would say, how can you say that? But white folks can say it and nobody challenge it. Huh? Now we worried about AIDS. Oh, them trifling niggas in Africa. When they get so trifling? My oldest daughter was getting her doctor's degree at the London School of Economics, and God bless me, I just happened to have been over there visiting her. And that's strange because I got 10 children, and that's one I really don't like. Y'all got some children too y'all don't like. You just don't admit it. Talk about, anytime you name a nigga Junebug. Talk about, Billy, he just a little strange. That nigga crazy. But God bless me while I'm over there, this headline on the front page of the London Times. Monday, May the 11th, 1987, smallpox vaccine triggers AIDS in Africa. Huh? But you black folks is so out of it, anything they tell you, not the White Citizen Council, the Ku Klux Klan, but the United States Bureau of Health took 600 black men in Tuskegee, Alabama, and said, we're going to give you a vitamin so you won't get a cold this winter, and then 50 years later, they injected syphilis into them, and y'all don't want to question where did AIDS come from? And this article here runs down how the World Health Organization, they use the word mastermind, a 13-year program. And then hear this. Only ran in a black magazine 2 years ago. I want y'all to hear this. Action AIDS Health Warning. Following up on a study presented at the International AIDS Conference in Durban, South Africa, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention have issued an urgent AIDS health advisory. And here's what it was. Many people have been counseled that monoxin 9, better known as N9, that's that little jelly that's in condoms. Monoxin 9 strengthens and aids in your ability to have sex without getting AIDS or HIV. However, in a recent study conducted on 1,000 HIV/AIDS negative prostitutes in Africa found that using monoxide 9 actually increase, not decrease, your chances of getting AIDS. Huh? They're putting it in the condoms. And y'all so relaxed and so this and that. We do stuff in this country that would make Hitler blush. And now there's decent folks that's coming out that's challenging. I never thought I'd see the day I'd have to get on the radio this morning and defend Bush and Blair. I'm one of the few people that got enough sense to know that that scientist that got murdered over there, they would have never killed him on the day when the president and the prime minister was meeting. Whoever did that is after them. Huh? I've been up all night long talking to researchers, bringing them in, sifting through the whole basketball Kobe Bryant mess. That ain't what you think it is. And he's messed up. He's going to lose all his little sneaker money. I tried to get hold of Nike today and say, if y'all want to make up for that money you lose, y'all ought to make some sneakers for the black neighborhood where a nigga can outrun a white lady. Here's a woman that's 19 years old, not a child, and nobody know her name. Huh? But last week, a 12-year-old girl that ran off with a Marine, we saw her picture and her name. Let me tell you something, I'm going to get out of here. Kobe Bryant went down and had his knee operated on that day. Now, ladies, if you know anything about a man having sex, you need your knees. So if I just had a knee operation, then there's a certain position she had to be in, and I can't not rape you and make you sit in my lap. And everybody, when it first happened, said, well, she said this and he said that. But then all at once something changed. They said they had a witness that heard some loud noise going on next door to his room, and he called the front desk. And a manager came down, knocked on the door opened, and he saw the woman in the room. So now it's no more he say, she say. 4 o'clock this morning, my folks gave me a rundown on who those witnesses are. We got the whole witness sheet that the prosecutor had. You get anything you want with money. And all the witnesses he lists that was in that hotel that night in rooms was cops and felons. In one of the most expensive hotels in the world, how can they afford to be in there? Now, I don't give a damn about that punk. I'm talking about when y'all don't understand. Bill Cosby was the darling of a white racist system until that nigga said he wanted to buy NBC. Son died, and then a daughter popped up that wouldn't nobody know about. Also found out that DEA yesterday said they found drugs in his room. Any of y'all hear that story? Let me tell you what that means. How can the DEA find drugs on June the 30th, but they don't even announce it until after the day he get indicted, and they didn't arrest him? Huh? And the reason I'm telling you this now, because they're going to ease it out little by little. We found out that Kobe Bryant been busted 12 times in police stings with prostitutes. No, shh, listen. Let me tell you how it works. I'm a cop in Chicago, run the mall squad, control the pimps and the hustlers, and also hook to the mafia. These athletes have been told, just don't have sex with these ordinary women because they'll sue you, get you some freaky hoes that won't get pregnant or won't sue you. But they don't know that that's a whole cop mafia thing. So he's in the room, and all at once the door is kicked in, and they come in with cameras, and his boy Pat said, no, hey, man, you my man. Don't worry about it. This coming Friday when y'all playing in Kansas City, don't score but 6 points. Have you ever got enough sense to ask how that boy can score 40 points one night, 50 the next, then Friday score 7? Huh? That's what this game is about. While y'all think it's just some kind of sports, and you black folks is gonna get a wake-up call because they're trying to tell y'all, these little thugs y'all producing, that the day is over. Basketball ain't entertainment, boy. It's a major white $1 trillion business. Huh? So I say to you tonight, take care of your body. You go home, look at your hotel at home, look at your toothpaste. And read the small print in the back where it say, do not swallow. Huh? They don't put that on cocaine. And then the last sentence say, in case you do swallow, contact the Poison Control Center, because an ordinary medical doctor is not qualified to save you. Huh? So I say to you tonight, you black folks, it is a violation of God. Hear me good now. It is a violation of God for you to reduce yourself below the dignity that God gave you to a white racist system just so you can pay your rent or feed your family or send your children to college. And that God for us say, before I tolerate that, I will destroy you from the inside. And if you don't believe it, look at the stats, black folks. You less than 12% of America's population. 87% of everybody right this moment on kidney dialysis machines is black folks. What God you praying to? They don't have one kidney dialysis machine in all of Africa. Why? They're too poor, they don't need it. Black men, less than 4% of America's population. 83% of prostate cancer death in America is black men. And then what do they tell me is causing it? You don't get examined. Huh? And y'all suck enough to believe that? Where they get examined in Africa? Huh? Are you telling me a redneck hillbilly that can't read or write, living in the trailer park, he go get examined? Huh? Why y'all fall for? It even tricked me. I said, I'm going to get examined. Now, ladies, I don't know if you know how they do prostate cancer. They put a glove on, tell you to bend over, and I didn't mind it. I was just trying to be brave for the brother, and I'm looking around, and I'm going to, and look around, and this cat got both his hands on my shoulder. And so I leave you tonight and I say to you, when you go home, send a prayer and a meditation for the folks, many of them are dead, that make this school the institution it is. Pray for their families and their friends and their loved ones. When I think about Coach Al Lingo, I never had a decent father in my life. He's a white man. He's the one who came to the movie and told me my mother was dead, huh? And then hugged me and said, I can drive you home to St. Louis tonight. I said, no, it's too late. I'll wait and go in the morning, huh? That's what this institution means to me. And so the other day when I was sick, you ain't got no